My diet before was basically almost a cause of cancer. It's not that I was a horrifically unhealthy individual. It's more of like I just needed carbs and carbs and carbs and carbs. And so I was doing like almost 4,000 calories a day of chicken, rice, beans, fruits, smoothies, all these sort of things to gain weight. And that's just straight sugar there. And so now I'm doing the ketogenic diet, and now it's a complete 180. And my results overall is it's incredible. And the keto diet has 100% been a huge factor in these results. I would say 80 to 90% of my results being tumor free is from the keto diet. When I was told, ketone ester, I really had no clue, honestly, what it was. I had somewhat of an idea, and I was a little nervous. I'm like, oh man, this seems like strong. I'm like, I don't know what this is, but maybe I'll try it. I swear to you, I literally didn't stop my work for like 6 hours straight. That's what made me, obsessed with it now.
Frank Yosa here, CEO of Ketone Ester, and today I've got Logan Sneed on the line, and he's a big influencer in the keto bodybuilding world, but also with an amazing cancer story as well. So I wanted to talk to Logan about, his history, what he's doing now, and what happened when he took the ester. Hey, Logan.
Yeah. Hey, man, how's it going? I'm excited to be on here.
Good. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me. So I'm almost on year 4 of being a stage 4 glioblastoma brain cancer survivor. For those who don't know what that is, it is the world's most deathly cancer there is, and I don't mean that to scare anybody. I just am stating facts, on how it's the most deathly, it's the least funded, and it's the fastest growing cancer. So I've been cancer free for 4 years now, and every day I work to, keep the results the way that they are, tumor free, cancer free. And I'm, following the ketogenic diet. I've not cheated through my journey of, conquering this at all. And I'm sticking with it and just creating, a new lifestyle to help optimize my health, on a daily basis.
And how much of that success do you think is from the ketogenic diet? Can you talk a little bit about why you went keto for your, glioblastoma and what research there is in that?
Yeah. So, I mean, my diet before was basically almost a cause of cancer. It's not that I was a horrifically unhealthy individual. It's more of like I just needed carbs and carbs and carbs and carbs. And so I was doing like almost 4,000 calories a day of chicken, rice, beans, fruits, smoothies, all these sort of things to gain weight. And that's just straight sugar there. And so now I'm doing the ketogenic diet, and now it's a complete 180. And my results overall it's incredible. And it's hard to know how much of that really contributes to the no tumor regrowth. I believe it is a massive percent. But there's also more variables coming into play of, inflammation, environment, stress, self-belief, all those sort of things. But the keto diet has 100% been a huge factor in these results. I would say 80 to 90% of my results being tumor free is from the keto diet.
And you actually just published a book, right? A couple of weeks ago.
I did.
Tell us about that.
I did. Yeah. So the book is called Thank You Cancer. It's basically where, I'm reshaping cancer, right? So people, see the word cancer or they hear the word cancer, and their minds are automatically going into a bad conversation, something negative, right? Again, I agree. Cancer is horrific. It's terrible. I hate it. But the thing is, I've been able to reshape it into something that's actually been a gift of mine. Because if I didn't have cancer, I don't know if I'd be on this podcast. I don't even know if I'd know you, like I don't know where I'd be. So, that's how I've reshaped cancer in a positive way through my book called Thank You Cancer.
Wow. Yeah, I tried. I think it's on Audible now. It's on my plan to get it downloaded on Audible and drive around with it.
Yeah.
Is it you talking on Audible, or do you have a paid person with a deep voice?
I get that asked a lot. Okay. So it's somebody who's professional at it. And the reason I didn't do it is because people don't understand that it takes months and months and months to do that. They're like, come on, Logan, just do it. I'm like, guys, it literally takes almost half a year to do this. And I just don't have that time right now.
Gotcha. No judgment there. I was just curious.
Yeah.
So then, a couple of years ago when we had our first prototypes of the Ketone Ester, I reached out to you because not because of your cancer background, but because of your keto background and, weightlifting, and you do keto training. I don't know, training hundreds of different people on on keto and bodybuilding. And I gave you some stuff, but our early stuff had sucralose in it. And I remember you
Mm.
were just hypersensitive about anything that wasn't natural. So you were part of the group that helped us shift away from the sucralose, even though that makes it taste much better, and go
Mm.
to the all natural stevia. So you did not try it back then, but then I circled back a couple of years later, and more recently sent you some ester to try, and
Yeah.
you've been blowing up my phone with how much you love it. I was like, we have to get you on the
Yeah.
podcast. Stop talking. Just, let's share with everybody else. So what
Yeah.
was your first experience and multiple experiences since they're using our ester?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a pro on the keto diet. Like, I mean, I don't know of anybody who really is a master at almost anything via diet, because things are always changing. And when I learned, when I was told, ketone ester, I really had no clue, honestly, what it was. I had somewhat of an idea, and I was a little nervous. I'm like, oh man, this seems like strong. I'm like, I don't know what this is, but maybe I'll try it. And so whenever it was, I think it was was it almost exactly a year ago, where we were at the Metabolic Health Summit. I actually won't forget this. We were sitting at this table. It was me, Robert Sykes, and Rachel Gregory. We were sitting there, and you come over, and you're like, yeah, just try it. And you talked about, like, the benefits that it could bring to me, and these sort of things. And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to do a full shot. I think I did like 60 milliliters, and I just downed the thing. And I'm not making this up, but I think it was honestly the best I've ever felt in my life. I swear, I was like, so calm. I was so not hungry. I was so energetic. I was not caffeine.
Right.
So it wasn't like a jittery energy. It was more just like a super clean energy. I felt amazing. I'll never forget that one experience. And that was the first time I took that step to try it. And that's what made me, obsessed with it now.
Right. So then, since then, I got you some more to play with. Do you use it for workouts? Do you use it post workout? Do you use it just for mental clarity during the day? I know you don't use it for appetite suppression. So, how are you finding benefit?
Yeah. So I'm using it for after my meal. So it's not that I'm like getting kicked out of ketosis. I don't even know if I really am or not, because I've been on keto for so long now that my ketones are, much lower just naturally because I've adapted so much.
Well,
So
hold on. That's such an important concept that you just glanced over. I've had people call and freak me out, or they're freaked out because they're like, I've been keto for 2 years. I swear I'm not cheating, and my ketone numbers are going down and down. I need your ketone esters to get my numbers up. And I'm like, no,
yeah,
no, no. You don't need the esters for that. You might need it for something else. But over years, your numbers go down because your utilization goes up. Ketones in your blood do nothing. It's when they get out of your blood and go where they need to go that it does something. So the numbers being low is not something to freak out about. And you just,
yeah.
passed on it, but I wanted to jump in about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
No, yeah, you're exactly right. And I'm not taking it to, fix my numbers. I'm really just taking it to optimize my just basically to optimize my overall ketone levels, because after I eat, sure, it will spike, your blood sugar a little bit, regardless of, really what you're eating, to be honest with you, except unless you're eating straight fat. Um, and so I'll just have it after the meal, and that also will help me go to sleep as well. So it will help me sleep very, very smoothly. And so I'll take about 10 milliliters right after that meal. And sometimes I'll change it up. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? It's morning time. Before I leave, I'm going to go have it right before I head out to the coffee shop. I take it before the day starts, and I feel incredible. I'll say this. My focus, literally, again, I won't forget this one either. I was at a coffee shop. I took it in the morning. So it was my first time taking it in the morning. And I was at the coffee shop with my friend that day. I swear to you, I literally didn't stop my work for like 6 hours straight. I looked at my phone. I'm like, what? It's 2:45. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to go to the gym. I said it's gonna be traffic. I'm like, oh crap. And so I was like, whoa, that was so weird. My friend was like, yeah, he was like, yeah, I don't know. You seem like you were like incredibly focused today. He's like, what the heck were you doing? I'm like, I don't know, man. I was just getting stuff done. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great benefits that I've, seen.
And that was only 10 mLs. So whereas before in the metabolic conference you took 60, it isn't necessary to take that much. You're
Yeah,
already keto, and then you took two capfuls, which is 10 mLs worth, about $5 worth, and you're just people sometimes lock themselves up in a room. Now honestly, I don't feel that. I wish I felt that on 10 mLs, but everyone reacts, and I'm keto vegan,
yeah,
and I wish I had that, but it takes me much more than the 10 mLs to have.
really, yeah.
But people often not often, but sometimes in the keto community, this is still the ketone ester is still very new. Everyone's scared of it at first, whether it's just everyone's just like, oh, I'm so scared.
Yeah.
But I try to manage expectations of, don't overthink it. Don't wait for that perfect day. Don't wait for a weekend. Wait for a hard, busy, mentally challenging day to actually use it. But some people say, oh, well, I'm already keto, so why do I need ketone esters? Why do I need more ketones if I've already got ketones in the system? But obviously, the experiences that you've had, you already have ketones in your system, and more ketones is just like a carb-based person saying, I wonder if, going into this workout fasted versus a big packet of glucose, I wonder if it's going to change my performance. Well, of course it will. So the
Yeah.
glucose-based people have glucose, and now, ketone-based people have their own fuel source that's very compatible.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not saying this, because I love the product. I'm saying this because it actually works. I like legitimately can see a significant difference in how I feel. Again, so I'll say this too. The first one that you sent me, I took it every single day for, I think it was like 30-ish days. I forget what it was. Mathematically, it was like 10 milliliters a day for like over 30 days. And I swear to you, I didn't stress one time. It was probably some of the most, if I wasn't taking it, it was literally probably the most stressful time of my life, coming out with a book, moving, changing businesses, like all these sort of things. And I wouldn't stress one time. It was almost like, I was like, this isn't right. This is weird. This is weird, but it's a good weird.
It definitely has an anti-anxiety effect where people expect that caffeine jitter. It doesn't do
Yeah.
that. And you taking it after the meal is pretty funny because that's nowhere in our protocols, but it actually makes sense that it can keep your blood sugar from spiking. Even if you're eating keto, your blood sugar will go up and your ketones go down with food. So keeping that in there, that's interesting. But now you take it in the morning. Have you ever even started taking it for workouts or post-workout? I mean, let's not forget your entire Instagram is all about bodybuilding and working out.
Yeah. So I have taken it before a workout, and I think you mentioned to take it after. Was that right too?
Well, you can take it two different ways. If you take too much beforehand, it can actually lower your blood sugar and reduce your performance. So think in terms of
Okay.
explosive. If you look back, you might have thought, oh well, wait a second, my explosive low reps were worse because your blood sugar is down. So if you have that experience, you need to take a little bit less ester beforehand, especially keto people.
Yeah.
But then you can just as easily take it afterward. And Keto Matrix, he takes it after his workouts when he wants to do 2 workouts a day, and he can't do
Mm.
that without the ester. He has, his central nervous system is just too taxed. But when he
Yeah.
takes the ester after the first workout, he can go straight into the second workout, without feeling it. And I rarely talk about my experiences because who's going to believe me? But every once in a while. So the other day I went for a cycle bar workout, 60-minute workout, full out cycling, and I haven't worked out in a few weeks, honestly, and let alone cycling. And I was expecting to be completely wobbling. The next day I was zero sore. I actually forgot that I had worked out. And then 2 days later, thinking that it'd be delayed muscle soreness, I barely was sore at all. And I only took 10 mLs before, and I think I took 5 or 10 mLs afterward. So the recovery benefit of just being able to do more hard workouts after each other, in and of itself can be its own. People can
Yeah.
for that.
No, that's amazing. So okay, there's a few experiences that I remember. It's so funny. Like, out of all supplements I've ever taken in my entire life, I've never had like legitimate like memories of taking the products besides this one. Okay, again, I'm not making that up. Like, I legitimately remember all these experiences. So one of them, I was going to the gym, and this is the one where I took it in the morning, like you said. I took, I think, 10 milliliters in the morning, and I went to go work out. So I went to work out, and on the way there, I had a bunch of salt water, I think, like you mentioned as well. And so I took that. And I got to be honest with you. So for those that are curious, fighting brain cancer, again, everyone can have their own beliefs. I mean, I'm not even really sure, but I've just heard that cancer patients who are in somewhat of a caloric deficit over time usually end up living longer than people who are not. So again, I'm not in a severe caloric deficit, but it's just a slight deficit to potentially prevent cancer from coming back, regardless of what diet you're on. So that's what I'm doing, right? And so because I'm doing that, I'm sweating a lot less, right? So I'm not sweating as much, and I hardly honestly ever sweat. And yes, I drink a lot of water, but this one time I took the ketone ester, I went to go work out, and I was legitimately sweating like really hardcore. And that's because the workout was more intense. The workout was more intense. It was much more efficient. I was not huffing and puffing. I was not taking long rest. It was legitimately the most memorable workout I've had in years. And I even gave it to my friend who he's like on a paleo keto kind of, he's like at a, good mix of that. And he took it and he was like, dude, he was like, what? He's like, what the heck is this? I'm like, this is Ketone Ester. I told you. And he's like, dude, I feel really freaking good. And he like, I swear, he was feeling so good. And he's never the guy who wants to work out longer than usual. And he was like, all right, I'm gonna be right back. And he starts doing abs over there. And then he's like documenting this whole thing. And like, now he's like obsessed. So that was one workout and one memory I have from, taking the ester before the workout and feeling invincible throughout the day.
Is he still using the ester?
I believe so. I think that was, I don't know if I don't know if he ran out or if he's on his second round, but that was probably about 30 to 50 days ago, maybe. So either he's running low or he's got a second round. I don't know, but he definitely did buy it. So
you mentioned a few things in there that, just tidbits like to touch on your reps, going back to your next rep, you might normally take a 60-second rest. People find themselves coincidentally taking 45 seconds, 30 seconds, and just being more fresh. That's the recovery. And so you can actually get more workout done in the same 60-hour period. But then we also find people saying, I didn't really notice anything, but I decided to add 5 miles to, the end of my workout. Could that be something?
Yeah,
that's exactly what it does. But then normally people will be less sore if you isolate the workout and make a comparable workout. But you actually might end up being more sore in the event that your workout, if it ends up being 30%, 40% more effort, you actually might be more sore than you would have otherwise. So you kind of have to balance not overexerting yourself, because there's this one guy who said that his flaw is overtraining. Like, he's not professional, but he's just worried about overtraining. And I said, watch out, because the ester, you might end up finding yourself, you might have to hold back a little bit, because you'll find yourself not feeling sore and just doing more and more, and just watch out for that. And he wrote me recently saying, thanks for mentioning that, because I've been holding back because I have this problem with, overworking out. Have you tried it for recovery just after a hard workout?
Yeah, so actually I have. And the thing is right, so I'm in somewhat of a caloric deficit. My training is more, weight lifting. So that's going to cause a lot of soreness. And because I'm in somewhat of a deficit, I'm not getting in as much food as I possibly could to have that optimal recovery. So I'll be honest with you, because I do so much fasting, because I do so much working out, I am very, very sore just naturally. And taking this has actually really helped my recovery of the soreness, okay? And the reason is because my recovery process of my sleep has improved, right? My sleep has improved. That's my recovery. And because that's going to help my soreness, right? If somebody's overtraining, getting horrific sleep, they're going to be sore for over a week. But this has helped my recovery process much more smoothly. And the soreness has definitely gone down.
But I thought in general, a ketogenic person is supposed to have significantly less soreness just because they're keto. So are you saying that you would have been, if you were non-keto, you would have been completely unable to move? Like, doesn't keto make you less sore because of less inflammation just in general without the drink?
It's kind of, I mean, I'm going to agree with that, but because I could be having more protein overall with my style of training, it definitely does require more protein. The recovery could be better, and so the soreness would be less, right? Again, even calories. So I could eat more fat. Like, I could eat more fat, and you're right, that could definitely help the soreness overall. But I'm kind of trying out this caloric deficit experiment. It's called the C diet. And that caloric deficit was so much fasting. That's another thing. I do a lot of fasting. So that's, obviously a variable of that soreness, in there.
Okay. So you take less protein because you think that maybe the protein's not feeding your muscles after the workout because you don't want that protein turning into carbs?
I'm going to say a partial yes to that. I could be doing probably a pound per body weight for protein intake, but I'm just trying to keep it a little bit lower than that. So that's why I'm experimenting and maybe raising my protein up a little bit, and maybe even raising the fat up just a little bit to help that process.
But you might not need to. You might be able to actually use the ester. I wouldn't be surprised if they find in studies that the ester is fueling the recovery of the muscles more so than the protein is usually the one that
Mhm.
everyone thinks of. You take protein before your workout because it kicks in after your workout and you can help recover your muscles. But the
Yeah.
recovery that the ester does, I think you might be able to just use the esters and get that
Yeah.
recovery that the protein is known for. And the protein, you know, might kick you out of ketosis if you do too much of it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, great. Thanks for coming on. Is there anything else? Taste? You want to touch real fast on what you think about taste? Some people are hyper scared, thinking that they're going to be drinking rocket fuel.
Okay. I think it tastes great. All right. Like I seriously do. Like there's something about it. Like I'm not going to sit there and drink, a whole bottle of it and say, wow, this is my hangout drink here. It's one of those things. Again, I've never really had alcohol, so I don't really know, but I just know people have their like shots of tequila, and tequila is more of like I'm not going to sit there and drink a bottle of tequila, but I'm going to sit there and have a shot or two or three, and they enjoy it, right? It's got that like that weird taste, and that's the way that I see this. It's more of like that was a good shot. Like I liked that, but it's not like I'm going to go drink a glass of it. You know what I'm saying? So I enjoy the taste. I really have absolutely no problem with the taste at all.
But it is sharp, like an apple cider
It
vinegar
is.
or
Oh
ginger
yeah.
shot. And
And I
sometimes
like that. Yeah.
people associate if they have a good if they taste something that tastes bad or strong, and then they have a good sensation like tequila makes them buzz, then they then associate the feeling. So if you have this good feeling associated with that strong drink, you get used to it. Um,
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
all right. Well, thank you very much.
Man, thank you. So much fun here. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Bye bye.